Shalom, shalom. Welcome to another video. And as usual, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Okakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and all the elders of Great Stone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the elect man who's pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, I say shalom. I wanted to get into a lesson today. The topic of this lesson is going to be the Israelite men has always been the prize. Again, the Israelite men have always been the prize, right? And before I even get started with this lesson, I wanted to just, play a video just to show you where I'm going with this. But anyway, without further ado, here we go.
And only women showed up. Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What did you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
I saw so many Black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for Black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not
Singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. It's going to be 50, 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear anymore, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
we just left the event. I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom. We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished, or.
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I'm not going to no more of these. Okay? That rhymed, period. I'm not going to anymore. And here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single.
A lot of women will.
Yeah, man, there you have it. There you have it, right? The women of the nation of Israel, they are complaining. They're losing it. They're frustrated. And I can get it. I know why. Because the men who they seek after, they don't want them. The Israelite men, they don't want the black woman anymore. They don't want the woman of Israel. But yo, you people were warned. You women were warned, right? Because of your pride, right? The vanity that you seek, because you always talk about you need a man to do this, you need a man to do that. Why don't you just shut the hell up? Right? Just shut up for once. Right? You were warned about your bad behavior. You were warned about your seductive behavior. You were warned about going on the internet, twerking, acting like a fool, about how you dress, about how you carry yourself, your demeanor, your mannerism. You were warned. Who warned you? The man of the Lord. They're on the highways and the byways warning you. This warning didn't come from us. This warning came from Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, but it came through us. It came through us. Every day you have videos going out from the four winds of the earth explaining to you, woman, to turn from your whoring and your disgusting behavior. But y'all don't want to listen. You think poorly of the men of the Lord. You look at us like we're bums because we don't have a three-piece suit on. Our face is not well shaved. We don't speak with we don't speak like how you want us to speak. We speak with a slang sometimes, right? You look at us like we're bums. You say we have no jobs, get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because our garments are not like crisp. But remember, John the Baptist didn't come in fancy clothes either. He came wearing let me get that real quick. Let me grab that. This is Matthew 3 and verse 4. It says, the same John had his raiment of camel's hair and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locust and wild honey. So he didn't come eating steak, beef, chicken, you know what I'm saying, like a three course meal. He didn't come dressed in a three-piece suit, fancy clothes. He came simple, just like Yahushua came riding on a donkey, right? He didn't come on a horse. He didn't come in chariots. He just came, they came simple, man. So in this time, the Most High send men who look simple, who dresses simple, face not shaved up, who look like bums. But in actuality, these men are prophets, giving you warning, telling you to turn from your wicked ways, right? You women of Israel, y'all, y'all push too much, man. You focus too much on the Western standards of how you should live, how you should behave. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get it. That's where you get it wrong. And you got it so wrong that now you're forced into these BBLs, right? These long eyelashes, heavy makeup, right? Y'all got tricked into this feminist movement talking about you want to be independent, right? And and not knowing that you're rejecting the traditional family values and family roles, right? And these things that I just explained to you are the same reason why the Most High has punished you, right? And he told Isaiah this. He told Isaiah that he's going to wreck you. He's going to break you down, right? This is Isaiah 3 and verse 16. This is in the KJV. It says, moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, right? And walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. These are things that I just talked about earlier. Your pride, your arrogance, right? You thinking that you are the prize, when in actuality, the Israelite men are the prize, right? Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. And we've seen it because you women walk around with other people's hair on your head versus walking around with what the Most High has given you, even though it's a curse. Wear it proudly, right? But because you don't listen, because your neck is stiff, right? The Most High has punished you. And this is verse 18. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnet and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewel. So this is pretty much saying the Most High is going to destroy you. He's going to take away everything that makes you beautiful. The Most High has promised this, and He has done this. This is the reason why you are the least attractive, the least wanted. You are the bottom, you are at the bottom of the barrel. No one really wants to be with the black woman. You guys have destroyed yourselves, right? This is Deuteronomy. Actually, let me get this in the NLT. It says, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with outstretched necks, glancing wantonly with their eyes, mincing along as they go, tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will strike with. Actually, let me get this in the NLT. Salakia. It says, the Lord says, beautiful Zion is haughty, craning her elegant neck, flirting with her eyes, walking with dainty steps, tinkling her ankle bracelets. So the Lord will send scabs on her head. The Lord will make the Lord will make beautiful Zion bald. And we have seen this. This is the reason why you guys go out there when you buy all these fake wigs and fake hairs wearing other people's hair, right? Because there's a curse on you because you don't listen. You guys don't listen. The Most High has sent prophets from old, new prophets now, which are the same prophets, coming back in their stead, right? On the highways and the byways, trying to warn you guys to come back to your power, come back to your nationality, come back to who you are as a people. Stop acting like a degenerate plant, right? Now, this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom and toward her son and toward her daughters. So we see this. You're going to hate your man, you're going to hate your kids, right? And toward her young one that cometh out from her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straightness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates, right? So this explaining, this is letting you know how evil your mind, your eyes, your heart, right, is going to be for your children, your offspring, and towards your husband. The hatred, the bitterness that you're going to have, the conflict in the home. This is what's going to happen to you, to you women. I mean, it has happened, right? And this is why the men don't want to be with you guys anymore, right? The Israelite man has now felt so disrespected, unsupported, or we would say unloved by the Israelite woman because of Western standards, right? Because of their independency, right? Because of feminism, right? These women don't respect the Israelite men anymore. So what they do, they mistreat them. So the men they have had enough. They don't want to be with you guys anymore. This is the reason why 80 women was in one event with only 3 men. Because the men are tired of you women, tired of what you have been doing, tired of the twerking, tired of the talking back, right? And this is a curse. It's not our natural state. This is not how we supposed to be. You supposed to be submissive to the men. But you're not. In fact, the men are destroyed too because the men aren't, the Israelite men, most of them are not leaders. They need somebody strong to lead them, right? Let me grab Hosea 6, Hosea 4 and 6. This is Hosea 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And it says my people, meaning the men and the woman. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. What knowledge did you reject? Right? The woman does not know order. They don't have any respect. They don't want to submit to the Israelite men anymore. Right? It says because thou hast rejected knowledge, where you find knowledge? In the Bible. If you want to know how to be in a relationship, check the Bible, man. The Bible will teach you how to honor your husband, right? It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. This is the reason why, as soon as you have these children, they go off, they go astray, losing their mind, bugging out, right? And this is speaking of both men and women, right? You have lost your way because, like I said, the Israelite men do not know how to lead. And how do you lead? With the Bible. So if you have no understanding and no knowledge of the Bible, how are you going to lead your family? How are you going to lead your woman? Right? How are you going to do that? You don't know how to lead righteously by yourself. You have to be in this book. You have to be in this book, and being in this book will teach you how to lead your woman righteously. Right? This is going to teach you how to lead righteously. And this is one of the reasons why, the men of the Lord, the one who are knowledgeable of the scriptures, the one who knows the Bible, this is the reason why they turn to other nations, other women, right? Not because they are better. No, it's not because they're better. It's because they seem to be more submissive. They don't combat, they don't fight, right? They don't argue. They let the man lead according to the Bible, right? Now this is Second Ezra 2, 2 Ezra 5 and verse 8. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And this monsters here is pretty much going into rebellion, right? Rebellion, in fact, rebellious children. And why would the children be rebellious? Because there's no father in the house. And even if there's a father in the house, he's not leading according to the Bible. So the house has been broken. So even though you have the man and the woman in the house, some of them, let me backtrack. Even though you have the man and the woman in the house is still broken, because the woman have no respect for the man, because the man don't know how to lead. It's all about me being independent. There's not a team anymore. And the man, he's not leading according to the Bible, right? He's not leading according to righteousness. And righteousness is within the scriptures, right? And a lot of these women are trying to raise their children alone. And this is the reason why you have such a dysfunction in our society, within our society, right? And this creates dysfunction within the entire family, man. This creates dysfunction within the entire family structure of the Israelite man. Plain and simple, right? So listen, these women, they have gone astray. They have lost their minds. They want to be, they want to be, they want to be like everybody else. They go on the internet, they act a fool, acting like they don't have no goddamn sense, twerking, doing a bunch of abominable things. And these are curses, man. These are curses on you people, right? I want to get this precept real quick. And I think this one's gonna be my final precept. I'm gonna just grab it in my phone. Actually, I'll grab it on the screen. Lamentation. 5:11. This is Lamentation 5:11. It says, they ravished the woman in Zion, speaking about the Israelite woman, and the maids in the cities of Judah. The princes are hanged up by their hand. The faces of elders were not honored. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. Right? So pretty much this is speaking about what we went through as a nation, as a people. Right? Our people went through slavery, right? Which also helped to destroy them. The women were raped, right? This is pure destruction amongst our people, right? So even in today's society, we are still enslaved mentally, physically, emotionally, right? This is long-term long-term trauma that's affecting us today. But why? Why? Because we didn't listen to Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, right? So the Most High has given us what we worked for. We planted this seed, and this is the reason why we are reaping what we sowed. Broken families, depending on the welfare system, fatherlessness, right? And this has made both men and women dysfunctional, destroyed. So right now, we, the men of the Lord, are telling you people to come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And this didn't start yesterday, today. This didn't start in 2020, 2021, right? It started during captivity from slavery days. But why? The things that have been, it is that thing that shall be, and there's no new thing under the sun, right? So what? You women were acting like this back in the day, and you're still acting this way now, even though the man on the highway has been on the man of the Lord has been on the highways and the byways for over 40 years, telling you to come back to your true nationality. Come back to who you are. Stop acting like a degenerate plant. Right? But anyway, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, and all the teachers of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the elect who pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say, Shalom.